down and goal from the 9. Carr throws into traffic. Intercepted. The Bengals have the ball. They are running it back. Sam Hubbard.
Stanford Jennings is going to go all the way. When it comes down, the Bengals are champions.
Now the Bengals Super Bowl chances rest on his right foot. The kick is up. It is good.
Hooday Bengal fans, here we gather, talking football back for year 5. We're covering all things Hooday Nation. We're glad you joined us here tonight. Special guests, past and present players. You never know who you might see. One thing that's for sure, it's all things Bengals. And it all goes back to charity. We at Talking Football want to thank you for joining us for the show tonight. By the fans, for the fans, until the very end. It's Talking Football with Bengal Jim and friends. It's Talking Football with Bengal Jim and friends.
What's up, everybody? Another edition of Talking Football with Bengal Jim and friends. As ugly as it's been all year defensively, we're one game out of a wild card. Tom, James, and I were just talking about that. We got to turn things around here and turn it around quick in order for us to grab that wild card. So what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, wherever you're joining us. Make sure you type in any questions you have. We got Joe Kelly. Who better to talk Bengals defense with us on what's going on there than Joe Kelly, former Bengals linebacker. But what's up, Tom? What's up, James? Good to see you guys, bud.
We returned to SoFi. Haven't been back since they pickpocketed my phone leaving the Super Bowl, sons of bitches. But go to the godforsaken California. But, Chargers are one of the teams that we're facing in front of us. I think now we're relegated, obviously, to the wild card. Chargers, one of those teams in front of us. So it's going to be a test. Harbaugh has certainly changed that team. Herbert's a good quarterback, and we'll see what happens on Sunday in prime time under the lights. Tom?
Tom's froze.
Is locked with the.
That's a great picture right there.
Space, but
at least he froze smiling.
If you think about it, if you look ahead, and we'll certainly discuss this a little further in depth. Chargers, Broncos, and Colts, the teams that are in front of us. Dolphins with their win last night, a game behind us. So, like we said, wild card certainly in play, but Chargers are a win. Another thing that when it comes down to tiebreakers is that AFC record. If it doesn't come head-to-head, which the Colts are a team that's in front of us that we don't play head-to-head, so that AFC record will come into play. And, got to win. Everything's still in front of us, but it all starts Sunday night under the lights.
Yeah, James, you're going out too, right? You're gonna be out there game day.
I am. I'm going to see Syracuse play Cal on Saturday, and then come down. SoFi, as gorgeous as it is from the outside, as cool as it is in the inside, it's still a pain in the ass to navigate from inside. Very choppy and broken up, but it's Southern California. It's primetime game, another opportunity to showcase what we can do. Thinking back to Thursday night game, which was heartbreaking. We'll dive into that a little bit here. There's a meme going around. What was it yesterday? Joe Burrow throws 5 TDs and we lose on Thursday night, and Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions and they win Sunday night. So it just seems to be the way that things have broke for us this year, unfortunately, going south instead of upward. But hey, what can we do? That's behind us now, and got to look ahead.
Yeah, pretty good crew going out to LA. James will be there. Trish and I, Carrie and Tony. Mark doesn't like flying, so him and Sandy actually driving out to LA and making some stops on the way. Right now, they're watching the show from Arizona. So good
Brett,
folks. Tom's out.
Brett hit the nail on the head. Obviously a lot of people watching the score, Denver, Kansas City on Sunday. Kansas City continues to have their horseshoe up their backside to get that layup of a field goal blocked and keep their undefeated record. But if I had to bet, I'd put the money on the Bills Sunday to give them their first blemish on the season.
Yeah, Tom, you're back, buddy. Welcome back.
No problem. I apologize. You guys need to check your phones. Jamie just called me with the Trump victory. He was just named Canadian ambassador to the United States. So give him a call when the show's over. But what?
Oh, gosh.
You think I'm kidding? Check the news, man. It's all over the news.
He's selling things in Canada. He doesn't have time for it tonight.
No, let's
no, one game out. There's no reason we can't be optimistic. There's no reason why we can't win the game Sunday. It's a very tall order. Get the bye week, come back strong against the Steelers, and have a December to remember.
Yeah. So Joe's in the waiting room. We'll have Tom do the intro here, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, we're going to talk some Bengals defense, guys. And that's mostly what I want to talk about. We're got a lot of stuff to run by Joe. If anybody knows Joe Kelly, this guy doesn't hold anything back. He's going to speak his mind. He's going to be real, keep it real. So I'm looking forward to talk a little bit of Bengals defense right now, what he sees, and us talk a little bit about how he thinks we could get this thing turned around. Tom, but go and do the intro for our buddy Joe.
Number 1 draft pick out of the University of Washington. He wasn't just tough, strong, smart, and fast. He was one heck of a leader. He's a Super Bowl linebacker, and now a credit to the community here in Cincinnati. So another one of the great guys. We're glad that kept Cincinnati home when his playing days were over and then came back. So we welcome to Bengal Jim and Friends, Joe Kelly.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Joe, what's going on?
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing, man? Appreciate you guys having me on the show, man. I love talking football.
Hey, the more important question, where's Tiff at?
Upstairs. She's pissed at me right now. So, yeah. But, hey, that's what it is. Jim, you already know. Yeah,
I know. Hey, so if anybody sees comments from Tiffany Kelly in this chat area, give it Rip and Joe a new one. We know what's going on.
Yeah, I didn't give her a link. I didn't give her a link.
Let's get it going here, guys. So Tom, go ahead and get it kicked off here, man.
Hey, Joe. I mean, you've watched our guys this year, and really, there is talent there. There are, guys that can be very special defensively. We've got one guy that is very special. Trey Hendrickson is as dangerous as any pass rusher in the NFL now, and any pass rusher in Bengals history. If you could get in there and talk to those guys based on what you've seen for one practice, one day, one meeting, what would you tell them?
You look at and you have when we're playing next to someone like 91. That dude, you got to raise your game, right? It's like me playing behind Crummy, right? And Crummy, we would talk during the game. And if Crummy said, "Hey, I got this," you hit that damn A gap. Best believe that A gap was gonna get blown up. Right. So you have these situations where this guy is doing it. Unfortunately, we're not getting the same pressure from the outside, unfortunately. So it's a mixture of things, man. And, my thing is here, let's get back to, technique. I'm looking at a lot of awful technique, especially, at the corner position, a linebacker position. You're looking at things, the linebackers, when the D-line is not playing as well, it makes it tough on the linebackers. So there's a number of areas. And when you say go in and talk, I think that the biggest thing, you got to look each other in the eye, man. And it's mano a mano, right? Here, I can't help you do your job. I can encourage you to do your job, but we're going to go in this damn thing to next week, and I'm going to look at you, you're going to look at me, and I'm telling you that I'm going to hold my part up, whatever that is. I'm not saying that you're not going to get beat, 3, 4, or 5 plays a game. There's 75, 80 plays. But I'm going to tell you, even those plays that I get beat, you're going to know it's going to be 100%. I'm going to work on my technique. I'm going to study the game plan, and I'm going to be in the right position. I'm going to be in the position that I'm supposed to be based on film study.
Yeah, hey, Joe, I don't. I want to take both these questions at once, but I'm gonna let somebody else ask this question. I'll let it go. If somebody doesn't ask it, I'll get it. But talk to me about the defense, man. What I just don't understand is just this is one of the worst tackling teams in the NFL right now, man, and that just can't happen. I mean, you're going to miss tackles every now and then, but it seems like we're missing more and more, and that's costing us games at the end of the day.
Yeah, I just can go back to playing the Pac-10 for 4 years, playing in the NFL 11 years. If you want to get better at it, you got to practice, right? You got to practice how to tackle. You got to practice how to come up. You have to practice that. You're not going to go out there on Sunday, and it's 100 miles an hour, and you're going to just think you're going to tackle somebody, especially if you're going against a very good running back or elusive wide receivers in those names. It come back to technique. But we look at this defense, I'm looking at this defense, and everything starts up front. It starts up front on the offensive line, defensive line. Football is what is in the trenches, right? So when we're looking at it, and you look at what we lost a DJ Reader, right? And we got Rankins. And I am calling everybody out because, we all can say we made good plays, bad plays. But I can tell you about DJ Reader. DJ Reader commanded a double team, right? He commanded a double team. And then when he didn't get a double team, that was a play for Reader, right? So, we exchanged 1 for 1. And right now, I'm not saying Rankins, he was hurt, coming back, but he's not up to par where Reader was, right? And that's a huge loss. Sam was hurt. He's coming back, trying to get back in the mode. We're trying to hopefully, he can get back into form because he's proven that he can be that other threat from the outside. And when you don't have when your defensive front is getting blocked mano a mano, one-on-one, guess what? It goes to the linebackers. Right now, they got an extra person to come bump and come up on one of the linebackers. So now you have a situation usually where you got one linebacker taking on interior lineman, one linebacker, another linebacker maybe taking on the tight end, or H-back. But you don't have that because now, because of the other team's ability to block us one-on-one, it shows in the defense, shows in, us not getting off the field. You think about the Commanders game. We didn't have one punt. I never played a game in Pop Warner, junior high school, college, and NFL where the other team didn't punt once, right? And we're third down conversion. We can't get off the field. I've seen us getting better. But if we're going to say right now that we're going to go on a run, this team, we have to get off the field. We have to get off the field on third and fourth down.
Joe, I appreciate you joining us tonight. I want to quickly go back to Thursday night. Put up 30-plus points, 5 touchdowns for Joe Burrow. Defense struggled, not at all putting the loss squarely on the defense. There was a fumble, a lot of things you can look back on. But at the end of the game, as a player, going for 2, which I was 100% fine with. As a defensive player, where you maybe, we don't have much left in the tank. Were you fine and saying, hey, let's try to end it here? Or if you were in Zach's situation, would you said, hey, let's kick the extra point and play for overtime?
You know what? I agree with the call. I agree with the call. You look on that Joe getting face mask, Jackie getting manhandled, Tanner Hudson not running a deep enough route. If you're on the 2-yard line, you got to run a route. You got to be in the end zone. You got to be in the end zone. You can't be at the half-yard line. You got to run the route. So, there was a number of things that went wrong that play. But I was fine. But as a defensive player, I'm speaking from a defensive player. Even though we got Joe, we have Boomer. I'm getting chills, right? Because I want them to put it on us. I want to put it on us. We can walk on that field. We can look at each other eye to eye, man to man, and say, hey, this is on us. We have to stop these bleep, 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 bleep. It's that. So when we talking and, being as a player, I want to be out there. I want to make the last stop. I want to, be the difference. But I agree with it. they have Justin Tucker, the best kicker in the history of NFL. So let's go, because here that guy he can make them from damn near 70. And you got Lamar. So it was a good call. We just didn't get it done.
Tom?
Joe, one of the things with defense, offense too, but certainly on defense is leadership. And you brought up DJ. We lost DJ. We lost Jesse Bates. We're losing not just great players. Yeah. We're losing leaders. Guys that command respect, communicate well. And while we're signing guys, and that's really another question. When you played and you were a Bengal, you were a leader on that defense. You mentioned Tim Crumry. He was a leader. David Fulcher, like you, was a very young player, but he was a leader. It seems like as we've lost that, we've lost the heart of the defense and really the ability for it to function. What makes a leader in football? Do you have to be that best player? Do you have to be a rah-rah guy? Do you lead by example? What made you a leader?
It's everybody's different. Every player is different. When I go, Crumry, going into the game, both of us were, our emotion, our energy was 1,000 through the roof. So when they're into the defense, me and Crumry are coming back. You don't even get by us because we're salivating. We're going nuts, right? Reggie Williams, he was, by example. Faux Rock was a leader. He wasn't really a big talker. He was going to make plays. So we had a number of guys that were going to either be vocal or they're going to lead by example. The thing about some of the decisions defensively, Bengals we made, everything is not always about talent, right? The best talent, right? You look at the tight end, our tight end that went to the Jets, right? Was there talent-wise, the tight end better than him? Yes. But that dude was a leader in the locker room. When you look at Jesse Bates, look at what Jesse's he's top 3 safety in the league right now, right? And you went out, wasted money on the kid guy from the Rams. You signed him. It wasn't a significant difference of money that you would have to give him. And right now, we bought Von Bill back. Unfortunately, we get old. The game is tough. It's a tough game. I think Von has lost a step, and now you're trying to get battle in there. And I think he just needs more plays. He needs more experience. I think physically he's a little better physically than Von Bill. But I think that our safety position is an issue. And, I think at corner, as a player, as playing 11 years, you've seen guys, you've seen All-Pro. I played with some Hall of Famers. And those guys that, those good players, they're Hall of Fame guys. Here, you never listen to people telling you how good you are. And as well as, not listen to how bad they think you are, right? And the difference is when guys think they're better than they are, right? And, I think it's significant part of our defense, part of our issues has been number 29. I'm say what it is. It is what it is. That dude is our number 1 corner. That dude last year, that dude was a bad dude, right? And then you get into this game and you get everybody telling you that you're this guy, you're that guy, you're this, and then you call it like it is, man. Here we're not getting that. We're not getting that guy because that's our guy. That's the guy. Right? That's the guy. And that guy, you're looking at it, I'm looking at him and I talk to, Eric Thomas, and Solomon, and I talk to Fulcher. I can tell you, looking at a linebacker, technique wise and what they're doing and not attacking the line and catching, and not dropping in the zone. And when you're in zone, you just don't cover air. Somebody's in your zone. Zones always become matchup. That's still today. And you're looking at when those guys are, man, his technique, and it looks like he's blowing a lot of assignments. All that plays a part, in this, because if we were making up 2-3 plays a game, that's it. Them dudes on the other side of the ball are special. That dude, number 9 he's special. That dude is, if somebody's scoring 30 plus points, you got to win. You got to win in today's, at this level, So and I talk about it and saying it's bad, but when you look at it, every game comes down to 2-3 plays. No matter what you look at, it's 2-3 plays, 4 plays at the most. And we, unfortunately, defensively, we haven't been making those plays. And the bad plays that we've had on offense, it has not stopped us from still putting up numbers, putting us in position to win the game. Defensively, we got to get stops. We got to get stops, because I don't care who it is. I'm looking at it. I don't care if it's the Steelers. Nobody's going to stop our offense. If we get stopped, we're stopping ourselves. So the defense just has to step up. They just have to step up.
Yeah, Joe, as bad as it's been this year, mostly on the defense, and actually everybody's watching right now. I know we got some questions in the chat area that kind of already been addressed by Joe, but if you have questions specifically, throw them in there. We'll pull them up and let Joe answer them for you. But Joe, as bad as it's been, man, this season's not over. We're 10 games in. We're 1 game out of the playoff, out of the wild card spot right now. So, talk about how important it is. You can right the ship. You got to play your best ball at the end of the year, right? You got to kind of start moving towards the end of the year. So talk about that. So it's still a possibility. We got to get some things fixed on defense. I don't know how we do that, but talk about how important it is to be playing your best ball at the end of the year.
Oh, I mean that's where the seasons are. Seasons are run in November and December. No doubt. And unfortunately we have continued to have slow starts. But we think this team has shown that they can go on a run. When we look down the schedule, you're looking at the Chargers and Tennessee, Pittsburgh twice, Cleveland once. You look at all those others. We gave away Baltimore. We gave away Kansas City. We gave away New England, right? I think here we get on the roll. Defense, I'm not asking you to become the 85 Bears, right? I need you to make 4 or 5 more plays. That's it. You can't go and we're not going to just change this whole thing here. I need somebody to make a play other than 91, right? I need some interior guys making some plays, making some tackles for losses. I need you guys to, let 57 and 55 roam. Right. I need you guys up front. I need you guys to do that. And I'm not asking a lot as a coach, as a player. I'm saying somebody in the defensive backfield. And right now I don't see it. Somebody in the defensive backfield has to, grow some kahunas, man, and start calling these guys out. Let's start blowing assignments. It's 3rd and 4. You're 12 yards off the ball. And when the ball hikes, you are backing up like it's, somebody's 4-1 running a 9 route. It's situational football. You look at all those, when you see those little small things here and there as a player, I'm saying, okay, it's 3rd and 4. You're 12 yards out. All he has to do is take 3 steps and stop. It's audibles, right? So you look at, we're not playing defense. We're not playing, fundamental ball. All that being said, I think because number 9 is so good, Chase, we need T. Higgins, right? T makes a difference. If T's in the mix, I don't know if he's going to be playing in L.A., but, we have 2 special guys out there, and our line is holding up, even without our big fella. Line is playing decent. We're putting points. We're doing what we have to do offensively. We have to protect the football. That fumble was a huge momentum change. And the game is NFL game is a game of momentums, game of runs. That's why I say here at this point, we can still get in. And I tell you what, man, you don't want to. If we get in, you do not want to play us. You do not want number 9 being at the helm, and you want to let us if we get into this thing. Because if we get into this game, we're staying 2 games, baby. It's a 2-game season. Man. We're the Super Bowl. So it's that, man. I haven't given up on the guys. I'll be heading to LA Thursday.
See you there, Joe. I'll see you there.
I'm still riding with them, man. And, I'll have my Bengal colors on, still riding with my guys.
Totally different quarterback this week, Joe. Obviously, Lamar, the scrambling type. We see John's post in the comments, runs 20 yards backwards and then makes it to the one. Justin Herbert, obviously more of a pocket passer. But leading up to it in the week, and this is where we value your insight being in these meetings, Lou plans for X, and they bring out a totally different look than what you anticipate. How easy is it to make that change? Or say you go into the locker room at halftime and, totally change things up. How hard is that on you, the player? Or is it kind of, hey, this is the basics, obviously we need to tackle the ball. We need to get to it. It isn't what we thought, but at the end of the day, we're here to make tackles. So going in again, to recap what you plan for the week, and it's not what you see on the field on Sunday.
Well, that's it's not. It seems as though they're huge changes, but they're not. They're very, very simple, because you understand nobody is putting in a brand new offense, right? What they're going to do, they're going to attack your weaknesses. They're looking at a team that can be susceptible, in on third down situations, fourth down situations. They're looking at the success people are having on first down. First down 6-7 yards. Can't have that. Right, we got to keep it down to 3-4 yards. So whatever's working for we played enough games where here a zebra can't change the stripes. Right, we can when you go into the season, people look at weaknesses. They look at what other teams been successful doing. Right, they may come out with a few wrinkles. There's always going to be a few wrinkles, but they are still going to play their typical offense. Justin Herbert's not going to turn into a scrambler. They're running backs, going to be slash guys. You got some decent receivers. They're going to go to their bread and butter. But the changes are okay with their bread and butter. Okay, if I see this guy, if I see Battle in there and I see that he has problems getting off, getting off the hash. Right, we're going to target that. If I see that, okay, here their interior linemen. Here, Rankins. Here, we don't have to double team him. I need you just to chip on him and then get up to the linebacker. We get up to 55. So there's a special running play that we. So they're looking at wherever the weak link is, defensive lineman. That way they can take one of their offensive linemen, chip up and grab one of our linebackers. They're going to see here if I can take my tight end and just sit him down, because if this guy's playing hook curl and he's playing in space, all I need you to do is kind of sit there, hesitate, go right there and sit down. That's 7-8 yards. And it's that. So, as a defensive coordinator, you go in and say, hey, okay, here, when we're playing, cover 2, and 55, you got number 3 up the seam. So what they're doing, they're taking the tight end and the ace back, and they're running them up, and then they're switching. Right, they're going on the field and then they're switching places, and you're taking the wrong man. It's not as hard. It's not as hard as you think. There's simple adjustments. You just have to make those adjustments, and when Lou makes those adjustments, you have to execute it. It's about execution. You're looking at it defensively. They have when you get off the field now with technology, you're seeing in real time what you're doing. You're seeing in real time. Oh man, when he went like that, when he blocked down, hey, I should have came out and went out to the tackle. When they're coming out and that tight end is hesitating, he's going to run a corner route. So you see, because they can see it in real time. We couldn't see it in real time. A lot of times what we can see we have still shots, but they can see it in real time. So their adjustments are a lot easier now than it was when we played. So you see, because they're going to attack. If something is working, they're going to continue to attack it, right? And we know going into as a defense, we know what teams have been successful with against us. So we have to make sure that here we are technique sound. We are sound in our pass coverages. We communicate when we're man to man, because you see a lot of pointing. You got this, you got that. Lou guy has to get the play in enough time for the defense to adjust. But it's not that hard. It's not that hard because their base offense. They will have a little wrinkles. Everybody does, but we're still going to play San Diego ball, LA ball. Sorry.
Yeah. Tom?
Joe, you mentioned number 29 earlier, and it's a guy that has really impressed since he came into the league. Had a fine rookie season, stepping in midway through, and I mean that's tough for a rookie corner to do. Stepped in last year, played. He should have gone to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
So we were all kind of like the whole team. We were looking for the sky to be the limit this year. Yeah. And he's flashed. He's had some spectacular interceptions. It's Mahomes, and it's also there. But he struggled. In fact, I read something this year. He's given up more yards than any corner in football this year.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry,
is it a situation where it's technique? He can be fixed. Has he regressed? Is it confidence? What needs to happen for this young guy to be the Cam Taylor-Britt we know?
It's all that, he's aggressive. He digressed. He's technique is off, and his confidence, right? Great corners. Everybody got beat. Deion got beat. Haynes got beat. You got the cornerbacks. Their mentality. You look at corners and wide receivers. They're the two most cockiest people on the field, always, right? Those guys. So when you lose that swag, right? You lose that swag, you're going to get beat. But you can tell, he's not, because he can run. You can run. But you can see he's bailing out. I'm talking to Eric Thomas, and I'm talking to Eric Thomas during the game, right? We're talking, and I'm saying, E.T., he said, man, he's not in his technique. He's not backpedaling. He's turning, he's opening up the hip and taking off, and down he's slow to come back on that out, or when the guy's running an in route, right? He's still backpedaling, right? As though he's playing, afraid to get beat deep. You can run. If the guy runs and take a 9 route, you can run with him. So it's his confidence. He has to be more technique sound. We know that he can play, but this game, I've seen a lot of guys over 11 years that they lose their confidence. And when they lose their confidence, they're a total different person on the field, right? And it's tough. And cornerback, corners, the spotlight is on you like it's on quarterbacks, right? Because when you get beat and you give up a touchdown, everybody in the stand knows it was you. As a linebacker, I get beat. You don't know if it's me or if it's a safety, right? So you're on the island, man, and that's the position where you have to have confidence, because in this league you're going to get beat. You're going against receivers like Chase, right? You're going against receivers like Jefferson. You're going to get beat. It's about being able to come back and compete. And that, I think that him not playing as well is a big part of why we are where we are. And he's not the only reason. And I'm not going. You can't pin the point one person. It's never that. It's collectively. We win collectively. We lose collectively. But when you look at it, you can't have all these things. You can't have all 4 D linemen, except 91 getting blocked one-on-one. You can't have all the safeties. Safeties not being able to get off the hash. When you have a play like with the long touchdown, 22, you got to get off the hash, right? You was kind of laxing days ago, even though 55 thought he pushed him out of bounds. But the safety, you got to be over there. The play's over there. You got to get over there, So, it's a lot of situations where you break down. But if you look at the film, when they go back and look at the film, they're kicking themselves, because it's like, damn, that was a 7-yard gain turns into a touchdown. When you look at Lamar, his touchdown, it's 4 guys had a chance, right? It's Lamar, but still, man, right there. And we're not far away. You're talking, this game. We lost the Super Bowl. Ray Horton was this far. Ray Horton was an inch away from hitting that ball, knocking it down. It's no touchdown. We're Super Bowl champs. It's a game of inches, man, and you got to come back and, just got to come back, man, and compete. It's about competing.
Yep. So Joe, we got to continue to put up points. So we hope. I was actually, before I came on the show tonight, I ran into T. Higgins downtown. He looks good. He feels good. Hopefully he can get back on the field this week. That's a whole other dimension to add to that offense. And hopefully Orlando Brown is back. I mean, Joe took a hell of a lot of hits this past week. He got hit a lot, more than probably any other quarterback in the league. Man, he's taken a lot of hits. But getting Orlando Brown back, hopefully that he gets back on the field. But I don't know if you saw the post game interview, Joe, when you had Lamar talking about Joe and Joe talking about Lamar. and usually you could kind of see through the BS comments, but you could tell both of these individuals showed a ton of respect for each other.
Oh, yeah.
And it was kind of cool listening to Joe talk about Lamar and Lamar's real reaction talking about Joe, talking about he's got a dog in him. He's just, I don't know if you saw that or heard that, but that was genuine. That wasn't just, that wasn't just media BS to feed. It was kind of cool to see those comments.
Oh, absolutely. When you look at those guys that have played at the highest level, right? These guys are, they're Mahomes, Lamar, and Joe, not discounting any other guys. But these guys, when you look at that, so when you go out and you play a team, and we're playing the Giants, right? And here, our linebacker core is nothing like the Giants, But when you're out there and you're seeing LT, Harry Carson, Gary Reasons, Pepper Johnson, you're seeing those guys. You want to elevate your game, right? You want to play, So when those guys, play each other, when you have those star players, you want to be able to compete. You want to say, let your peer know that, I'm not bad either, man. I'm pretty damn good. And when you look at, the crazy play Lamar had, it's not the first, insane touchdown he had against us. But then you look at Joe's numbers. So when you look at the end of the game, you look at Joe's numbers and you have to say, damn, how did somebody lose in doing what he did? Right. And, Lamar just athletically and, he's brought his ability to pass up. That's on an elite level. So being a dual threat and, Joe's shown that, he's just not going to be a guy that sit in the pocket. He can move. He can be elusive. He can make some plays with his feet, and give him buy him a little time when our offensive line does break down. He's shown the ability to be elusive. Elusive enough to get down and get that ball downfield, and keep those drives going.
Joey, appreciate the player perspective tonight, diving in and what you experienced back in your day. A couple of weeks ago, we had a player, this isn't a slam on him, overslept practice, was part of the game plan, didn't even dress for the game. How would Joe Kelly, back in his prime, deal with a younger player in that exact situation?
Can I cuss?
Joe, you're good, brother. It's not PG.
Okay. So it's like this, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? Right? And especially because this dude's from LA. I'm in his ass. You could ask Fo Rock about me. I'm not saying I'm the best, I'm on the team, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna practice as hard as anybody, I'm gonna play as hard as anybody, and I expect you to play as hard, as me. I'm expecting you to, you're sitting up here, man, and you blowing assignments, but even with him, you're doing dumb shit, man. It's NFL, dude. What they don't pass $1 million jobs out, man. You understand the opportunity that you're about to cup, right? That's man, you got to get your shit together, because understand they don't need you, man. There's a lot of burdens in this league. There's a lot of burdens want to come into this situation and be blessed to do something that you love. It pisses me off, because I know how many guys I played with that was some fucking dogs that didn't get put in the right situation to even be given an opportunity. Then you have a guy like this that is pissing, on this opportunity, pissing on the Bengal organization, that is pissing more on his teammates. Your teammates, and I tell you, he would have never lived down. Then you come to the game in pajamas. We in your ass after the game every day. You gonna feel. You can ask ET. You can ask Solomon. If you were coming in, you were in that locker room, man, and you were doing something you had no business doing. Lewis Billups was kind of erratic here and there, but he got it. He got an earful. Right. So when you have a situation that it's just a detriment to your team, man, and we out here and guess what? We need you, right? We don't have T. They could use you, right? You got the skills, man. But I think Jamar said, I said what I need to say, and when you got a star telling you, I told him what I need to say. That's why, kind of reading what, between the lines what he said. I told you, but at the end of the day, you ain't no kid, right? We're gonna baby you,
Right.
that was the right decision. That was the right decision by Zach, because that can be poisonous.
Is that coming from the leader, Joe, from one person, or is he getting that from all angles back in the day?
So if he was on our team, he's getting it from. He's in the locker room. So, as we're practicing out there, we're not going to be saying nothing to you in offenses. But when we get in the locker room, you're getting it from everybody, right? You're getting in the locker room. You're going to get it off the field, right? Because, we know you see him out in the city, right? You getting it, man. Because at the end of the day, here, it's about the team, dude. You fucking the team up, right? Because we need you, especially since T's out. You're being childish, man. Nobody's that good. Nobody's that good, man, to be doing what you're doing and thinking that here, you're just gonna piss on our team. You're gonna piss on this lifetime opportunity, man. Understand, because at the end of the day, when you have to go back home and you see, I don't know if the kid graduated or whatever, but when you see, I don't care if you do have a degree, when you get out here and see that they're not passing out $1 million jobs, right? And they damn sure ain't letting you show up to work in pajamas or coming late or missing meetings, right? Yep. You're gonna get fired, right? So that we are creatures of habit, right? And whatever he's been doing it, and he continues to do it. So, hopefully, there's a couple of guys that have said enough or been stern enough for him to grow up and be a man. Yep. Period. Be a man about this.
Yeah. Is Tip still upstairs? You still in the doghouse?
I'm still in the doghouse. He probably happy that I mentioned the name, but I'm still in the doghouse.
Let's throw one or two more by you, Joe. I'll let Tom close it out, but let's talk a little bit about the refereeing, man. Are you seeing what we're seeing? Has it always been like this? Has it what's going on here?
You know what? The thing about it, when you look at, the Tom Brady's and the Mahomes and, all these guys, they don't give number 9 those calls, man. I think honestly is because Joe, when he goes to his press conferences, he's not really bitching, right? Joe got a bitch because what they're doing to you, Joe's getting not only face mask, Joe's getting hit late. Joe's you're falling on Joe and putting all your weight on. Joe's not a pussy, man. Joe's tough. Right, so I think because he's tough, he's not saying anything. But that's him. That's the the machoism in him. I think he has to be more vocal. With that. I can't say really pinpoint why he's not getting those calls, or why we're not getting those calls. But good teams play through those, and good teams find a way to win. When you're looking at, I'm looking at all the other games. Good teams are finding ways to win, and we have to find ways to win. We got to say, okay, we're going to expect bad call here and there, but we got to find a way to win. We've been finding ways to lose. Yep. We got to find ways to win.
Yeah, Tom.
Joe, you were mentioning that. I was just going to say, so many of our games this year, one score, one field goal. And it's been different things. I mean, one week it's not covering. The next week it's not tackling. The next week it's not putting pressure on the quarterback. It's a bad hold for a guy that's been holding for kicks since he was 12 years old and has never had a bad hold. It's all those things. I mean, you change one game and the season looks a lot different. It's a lot more optimistic.
Yeah.
It's a tall order. The Bengals have never played well on the West Coast historically. They've never done well on the West Coast. It's a tall order to beat a good team on the West Coast in prime time Sunday night. But if we do get this one, and for some reason I think we will, I mean, do you think we're out of it? Do you think you see them scratching and clawing all the way to that last game in Pittsburgh in January?
Yes. We still one game. We're one game out. We're not 5 games out. We're one game out, right? And with this season, we're one game out. So once we can get even next week, right? Hell, the Dolphins won 2 games. They went to the West Coast. They travel farther and further than us. They went to the West Coast and beat the Rams, right? So we have the ability to beat these guys. You look at what we have in front of us, and I think just being one spot out of the playoffs, the wild card, and the way you're looking at the incredible ways that other teams, and you got incredible lucky, but it's okay to be lucky sometimes. Kansas City's been that they have a 4-leaf clover stuck up there, bleep bleep, but that's what it is, man. And Pittsburgh, you're looking at those plays. It's one play, and we've been there. There's only one game that we should have lost, and that was the Eagles. Every other game it wasn't. And this is the season where it's not far fetched. We don't have to say, okay, here there's one play. There's one play in all the games. Starting from New England, tight end doesn't fumble going over the end zone. That's a touchdown. We went 17-16. It's that simple, right? You look at all these plays, field goal, botch field goal. You look at, Kansas City, 4th and 26. 4th and 26, and you call that. And it's not blatant. You call it, and like I said, you're finding ways to lose. But I think with these guys, offensively, and you're looking at Joe's being the number one quarterback in the league. You see what Chase has done, what he did last week. We're doing all this without T. And if we can get T in, Chase Brown. I think Chase Brown, I love Chase Brown. Right, you got to protect the football. Chase Brown, you don't see Chase Brown taking L's. He doesn't go backwards. And then just our heartstrings, man. We look at what Joe Mixon is doing down in Houston. Boy, we could use Joe right now, right? But there's a decision. We got to move on, man. But I seen we brought in a couple of veterans today or this week sometimes. So it's. I'm not saying here we need 5-6 players. I think our D-line is capable of playing a lot better. I think our linebackers are capable of playing a lot better. Our corners, we're bringing in another Howard, guy. 29 has to play better, and he can. He absolutely can. Getting Orlando Brown back, our offense is going to be offense. Nobody's going to stop our offense. Defense, we just got to make some stops, and it's this thing because of how the season has gone. You imagine us getting on this 3-4 game win streak, and the momentum that the fans are going to bring, and this team is going to have. This city is going to be fucking nuts. And you think about that playoff game with the Raiders. Was that, man, does that give you chills right now?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You think about that, man, and you think about this team and the fan base, number 9, it's there. This dude can carry us. He can take us there. He just needs a little help. Just need a little help. D, I need you give me a little help. Instead of don't give him 30, give him 27. Right? I'll get you 30. I'll get you 30. Keep him at 28. We have something, man. I'm things happen. Things happen for a reason, right? But you look at it, and we could go in the tank. I don't see us going into the tank, man. I see us coming out on the other side, and it's coming down to the wire. Down to the wire, and that last game can be a difference of us getting in. We may be on the verge where and somebody needs us to lose. But I think we're going to be in it. I think we're going to be in it, and anytime 9 is at the helm, man, I like our chances. I like our chances.
Well, Joe, you covered it all, man. Defense, all levels of defense, offense. We appreciate your perspective. We love the energy and that you bring to the table too, Joe. We appreciate you, man. And I'll see you out in LA. Buy you a cigar and a drink at some point out there. I'm sure I'll run into you at some point out there. But
okay, let me know where you're going to be.
Right,
I'll be out there Thursday, but let me know where you guys are going to be, and we'll help out.
Man, we appreciate you being with us. Tell Tips said we love her, man.
Okay, all right. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate
all
you.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, man.
Joe brings fire, man. He doesn't hold back.
As tense as he was on the field.
My favorite memory, I think I've said this before, him coming out in the Super Bowl. If you remember, they had him. The mic was too close to him, and he's dropping every F-bomb. and on the intro heading out in the field, he was just so hyped up for the game. But that's what he did game in and game out for us. So what a great dude, man. And his wife is a class act too. We love Tiffany. So
love the energy and just love that player perspective. Hey, at the end of the day, we know what they're going to run. They're going to have a couple of subtle changes, but our job to adjust and fix it. And, a great point there. That's of all the guests we've had about the in-game adjustments. I think Joe might've been the first one that, if you remember, it was those old black and white pictures they would get on the sideline, right? And they'd circle stuff with a Sharpie and point out this. And heck,
what do they call that? Like microfilm, the faxes, they fax the sideline.
Would send it down. And, now they can replay the last, 5 plays in less than 2 seconds and see every mistake they made. But, that was a great tidbit. But, always garner so much from these ex-players and love their perspective, love their energy. You can see the passion that Joe still has, and always fun, and appreciate him coming around, whether it's home tailgates, away tailgates. Just a great guy, and glad he's in Cincy.
Yeah, he's been at pretty much every away tailgate we've had, James, for him and Tiffany and the crew that he brings. So Tom's having some technical issues again, so hopefully he'll get back on here. James, you want to go ahead and close it out on your end, bud?
Yeah, just, again, while we may not be fighting for the AFC North, we're fighting for that wild card spot. Chargers, Broncos, still on the schedule, still in front of us. Get the win here on the left coast. Enjoy the bye, and then come back and be ready for the team from Western PA and to kick off December. So as always, we appreciate everyone joining us on the show tonight. If you're coming out to LA, definitely look us up. And if you're watching from home, primetime Sunday night, cheer loud.
Yeah, we've got we got the bye week coming up after this week or the week after. I can't even remember, but we don't have another. We play the Steelers. What is it? Early, like the first Sunday in December, right? December 1st. So kind of not a whole lot of games at home in November here, but now hopefully Tom can get back on here. I know he's been having some issues with his connection here, but guys, we appreciate you being with us. Look, it's been an ugly year defensively, especially, man, and I just gotta believe, I gotta hold out hope somehow, some way they figure some things. And I think Joe hit it on the nose. We don't need to shut somebody out, man. Just make 1 or 2 more plays, make some of the tackles you're supposed to make, and because when you score 30-plus points a game, you're supposed to be winning those games. So let's see what the boys can do this weekend in Los Angeles. Well, we'll be out there rooting them on, and hopefully come home with that dub. But we appreciate everybody being with us tonight. And if you're heading out to LA, safe travels, everybody. And we will see you next Tuesday. Hoo day, everybody.
Hoo day.